Carbonara is carbonara-ish.
And this is takeout. I was gonna pass it off as homemade.
Oh, you did that for me.
Well, now that we're being straightforward with each other, I just want to say that...
Careful now. No equipment fees, no annual contracts, no price increase at 12 months. Straightforward is better with home internet from AT&T. Geographic and service restrictions apply to AT&T Internet services. Visit att.com/internet for details.
Pickleball is on the rise. 46.8 million players nationwide with a projected $5 billion industry by 2033. Looking to be part of this exciting growth? Crush Yard offers a unique franchise opportunity, redefining the pickleball experience with indoor court, exceptional dining, craft drinks, and entertainment. This is your chance to invest in a rapidly growing brand shaping the future of leisure. For a limited time, you can own a piece of the action. Visit CrushYardFranchising.com to learn more. Crush Yard, Pickleball Bar and Lounge.
KDWB Richfield, Minneapolis, St. Paul, an iHeartRadio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free and improved iHeartRadio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
From the 612 Injured, High Merle and Lammers Injury Law Traffic Center.
We have no accidents and no delays. On 35W northbound, the entrance ramp from 82nd Street is closed with construction until September. Highway 169 closed both ways between Delaware Avenue and Quaker Avenue for the next few weeks to complete bridge decking. I'm Maria Arnold, and that's your latest Total Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Macy's. The Macy's Spring VIP sale is here with exclusive savings like an extra 30% off the season's most loved brands, plus 15% off must-have beauty essentials too. Savings off regular and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply at the Macy's Spring VIP sale.
Now live on streaming video, KDWB's Dave Ryan Show is now on YouTube every morning starting at 7 a.m. Just search Dave Ryan TV.
We are on right now on YouTube, DRTV. A little shout out. I'm jealous. Maddie and Wyatt, they listen to the show. They're headed off to New York City.
Hey.
They said, Baylor, we're going to see a Broadway show, Wicked.
Yeah.
Thanks for all that you do. Thank you, Maddie and Wyatt. That's super cool. I would just a little heads up, being a kind of a New York-ish kind of a guy, kind of a transplant. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Best pizza in town, Sbarro. It's a little hidden out of the way place, Sbarro.
Hole in the wall kind of place.
Kind of a little hole in the wall. And, yeah, you'll really enjoy it. Slice, an authentic New York slice. It's KDWB on the Dave Ryan Show. Pick Your Ticket Tuesday happens tomorrow. We're going to give away a bunch more tickets every you wish, every 30 minutes on KDWB. So just to get serious for just a quick minute, because so many people have said, Dave, because this plane crash in Brooklyn Park, everybody was talking about this one, and they still don't know, I don't think, how many people were on board. Definitely nobody survived. Was it one person on board? Okay, it was one person on board. And it was coming in from Des Moines, and it looked like it was going to the Anoka Airport, and then it dived into a house. Thankfully, nobody was hurt. And so in a very respectful way, people have said, Dave, we'll talk about what you think as a pilot, what you think happened. And I've studied, because it's nerdy, but this is what I do. I watch plane crash videos, and they talk about why it crashed. So the interesting thing about this one is if the engine had gone out or they ran out of gas, that's a survivable thing. You just glide. You get a great glider. This plane was not gliding.
No, it was like
coming
nosedive.
straight down.
Yeah.
So we can probably rule out the engine going out. The other thing that would make somebody dive like that is, and it didn't appear to be spinning, sometimes a plane, if you get lost in the clouds, you get what they call spatial disorientation. You don't know which way is up, which way is down, and that's what killed JFK Jr. He was in the soup, he was in the clouds, in the fog, and he got lost, didn't know which way was up. So the first thing he did is pull back on the stick, which makes him go up, which basically makes you stall and spin into the ground. This plane didn't look like it was spinning. It looked like it just went straight in, which there's two possibilities. Either the pilot was disabled, had a heart attack or something like that, or something failed structurally on the plane.
Yeah.
Like the tail came off or something like that. And so that's really it. without doing a deep dive on
Right.
it.
Is there a way to like find out?
They will definitely find out.
Yeah.
I mean, they take apart everything. They find all the wires and they find all the cables. They find as much as they can. And so, yeah, the chances are good they'll find out. At least they can rule different things out for sure.
Because that house was like on fire.
It was
like
gone.
completely gone. So hopefully they find something to find out what
the people
happened.
in the house got out, right?
There was nobody there.
They weren't there.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Because I was going to say, I thought I read something that they got out, and I was like, how?
Yeah, right? Like you hear it
Yeah.
coming. Oh, no. What's that sound?
And,
yeah.
and so, again, to be respectful, I'm not
Yeah.
saying the pilot did anything wrong. I'm not saying that, and that is just, I wouldn't give a theory if it was, usually when a plane crashes, there's like one of 4 or 5 different causes. So there's a couple you can rule out. All right, let's have some fun, you guys. You wanna do Think Fast? Let's do Think Fast. Brought to you by Northern 1 Hour Heating. Jenny is hosting Think Fast today.
Yes. Today, Dave and Vaughn are going to go head to head.
Awesome. I will keep score for you, Jen.
Okay, so this is going to be the geography round of Think Fast. And I need you to listen specifically to what I say because it's not just one letter, okay? I'm going to give you 2 letters. Okay. Name a country that starts with CH.
China.
Yes, Dave. Good job. Name a country that starts with IN.
India.
I was going to say Indiana. I was like, wait a minute.
Dave kind of stole that from you. So,
Hold on.
but yes, you get it, Dave. A country that starts with BR.
Brazil.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, nice.
Good one,
Yes.
A country that starts with FI.
Finland.
Yeah.
Ooh, tied 2-2.
Wow.
A country that starts with IR.
Ireland.
He's got
Wow.
Come on.
Okay.
Your mind is working faster than mine.
A country that starts with PE.
Peru.
Yes.
Wow.
Come on.
I was thinking penguin.
Give me an
Penguin.
A+, baby.
Good job. All right. We'll maybe do some more of those, but now we're going to switch to states. Okay.
All right.
A state that starts with CO.
Colorado.
What did you
said
say?
Connecticut. What do you, who do you think got that?
Vaughn got it first because
Okay.
I heard Kala first before I heard
Okay, so Vaughn has 5 so far. Dave has 2. A state that starts with MI.
Minnesota.
Dave got
Give
it
it to
with
Dave,
Michigan.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. A state that starts with SO.
South Dakota.
Yes.
I love South Dakota.
A state that starts with NE.
New York.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. Vaughn has 6. This
Game
point for Vaughn.
already?
What?
Dave
Nice.
has 4.
I wish I could have done this well in the SATs.
Yeah, no,
Should we-
you
should
wouldn't be a DJ.
If Vaughn
Right.
gets his point, should we keep going for
Yeah.
a couple more points?
yeah.
This has been really quick, and I have plenty. Okay.
Don't want to waste them.
Right. We have a lot of time to kill.
I've spent a lot of time writing these. No. All right. A state that starts with MA.
Massachusetts.
Oh,
Vaughn's
okay.
a
So
winner.
Vaughn technically
Pew,
wins,
pew, pew.
but now let's try to play to like 9 or something.
Okay.
We're going to move on to cities.
Let's just play till 10 a.m. I like that idea.
Okay. A city that starts with LO.
Long Island.
Yeah. Well,
Is that a city?
Is it?
No.
I don't really, I think that's like a,
It's like
I
a
don't know,
suburb.
Vaughn. That's
Loring
your
Park.
area.
That's also
That's
not a
not a
city.
city. Neighborhood.
Lonsdale.
That would have worked.
That's
Wow.
not
Or
fast,
like
though.
London or Los
yeah, that
Angeles.
place, yeah, okay.
Los Angeles is LA.
No point on that one.
Not LO.
No, wait.
No, Los Angeles is LO.
Oh, sorry.
Look at you. You thought you was doing something.
I was like, what? Isn't it LAS?
You think Las Vegas, but
Oh, Las Vegas. I'm
Angeles
thinking Las
is LO.
Vegas. Okay.
Okay, a city that starts with FL.
Florida. Oh, that's a state.
Flemington.
Ooh, this is harder.
Flemington,
I love Flemington.
Minnesota.
Florence is what I had.
Florence. Oh, you're talking international cities.
It can be any city.
Okay.
Any city. But also you can do local. Some of these will work for local. A city that starts with MA.
Manchester.
Good, Dave.
That's a city?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't
Somewhere,
know
yeah.
I don't know my European geography very well. Okay. I would have accepted Matamidi as well.
Oh.
I think that's an O, isn't
No,
it?
it's MA.
Okay.
I did my research.
Okay.
Okay.
She worked hard on this round.
Y'all are questioning me, okay? I did my research. Okay. A city that starts with PR.
Providence.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
Good job. Prior Lake,
Okay.
too. What does Dave have now?
Dave has 6.
6. And Vaughn's still at 7.
Still at 7.
A city that starts with ED.
Edina.
Yes, Vaughn.
Oh, nice.
Surprised Dave didn't go Eden Prairie. It's God's country out there.
It is God. It sure is, yeah.
A city that starts with DU.
Duluth.
Dunwoody.
Yes, Vaughn.
Ooh,
Duluth.
Oh, you're right.
Honestly, Vaughn he wins.
On
it all.
smoking
Fine.
you
He got 9 points at this point. He wins. Good job. Congrats. Little geography round of
That
Think
was a fun
Fast.
one. I like that one. Home version available now at Games by James.
Do a shout out real quick?
Yeah.
Shout out to Eric and Patrick who are on their way to the orthodontist.
You know, I had no clue Games by James was a real place.
What?
I had no clue Games by James was a real place. I thought that was just one of those things that you say.
Really?
And then me and Alyssa when we went to Dave & Buster's, we passed by it. She was like, there's Games by James. And I was like, oh, it's real.
It is. I love Games by James. It is such a cool little store. All right, we are going to be back in a moment on KDWB. We got Vaughn going to stir the pot. We've got a bunch of Dave's dirt, and then we want to talk about something. Kelly Clarkson brought this up, but I want to see what you think. It's about whether you think it's okay if schools have events during the middle of the day, like a choir concert or, the third grade spring pageant or whatever it is at 1:30 in the afternoon or at lunch. And a lot of parents, and Kelly Clarkson brought this up, that they don't want it, they don't like it because now they got to take off of work. And they can't take off of work because they got work to do.
Mm-hmm.
The teachers are like, I ain't coming back at 7 o'clock at night for your kid's spring pageant. I've got my own family. I've got my own life. So I want to talk to teachers before you get into school and parents before you get into work. We'll do that about 7:35 on KDWB.
101.3. 101.3.
KDWB.
From the Custom One MN.com Weather Center.
A nice quiet start to the week today, partly sunny with a high of 44, but tomorrow we're going to see some periods of snow once again with a high of 41.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Springfest and Ego Days are here at Lowe's. Right now, get a free Select Ego 56-volt battery with purchase of a Select Ego trimmer, blower, or mower kit. Lowe's, they help you save. Offer valid through 4/2. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
Friend calls me and said, do you got the number for Zero Res? I said, yeah, it's really simple. Why? What happened? They said, well, we got new furniture. When we moved the old furniture off the carpet, there was a giant clean spot where the couch and the love seat and recliner used to be. I said, I gotcha. 9520 Res. I said, when you call, make sure you ask for the KDWB 3-room special, which gets you 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at $119. And by the way, they can also take $75 off your air duct cleaning as well, because that's very important. The air ducts are like the lungs of your home. And if they're dirty, your indoor air quality suffers. They said, okay, cool. Also, you can find them online, zeroresminnesota.com. But get your spring cleaning done and jump early on that with the big savings and priority booking by calling the heroes over at Zero Res. 952-ZERO-RES or zeroresminnesota.com. Say you want that KDWB special, Zero Res. Spell it backward or forward. It spells the same.
KDWB-FM, Richfield, Minneapolis, St. Paul, an iHeartRadio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free and...
The holidays are upon us here at Dixon Farms, and as the season of giving approaches, we understand how you want to find just the perfect gift for that very special person. And at Dixon Farms, we have just the thing. That's right. Dixon Farms, the people who brought you delicious Dixon cider, now bring you Dixon nuts.
My husband has no idea what to get me for Christmas, and he'll probably want to get me cologne or a new sweater. But I'm going to start dropping hints. I want Dixon nuts.
Warm, delicious, and slightly salty, Dixon nuts are sure to be a favorite at your house this holiday season.
I can just imagine it this Christmas, cupping some warm Dixon nuts in my hand.
I hear you, girlfriend. I love Dixon nuts.
And here at Dixon Farms, we realize not everyone wants Dixon nuts.
No. Dixon nuts aren't really my thing. But my mom, totally different story. In fact, she loved Dixon nuts so much that it started to put a strain on her and Dad's relationship.
But you might just be surprised who does like Dixon nuts.
Okay, I admit it. I sometimes sneak off to an out-of-the-way park or an interstate rest stop and secretly enjoy some Dixon nuts. Funny thing is, once I was at a park late one night and I ran into my boss. It was kind of embarrassing at first, but it's great to know we both like Dixon nuts.
So this holiday season, almost anyone on your list will enjoy savoring tasty Dixon nuts. Order yours today. Due to cold weather while in the mail, some shrinkage of package may occur.
If you take me to Walmart, then you're not my dad. If you take me to Walmart, then you're not my dad. H-O-L-L-I-S-T-E-R, yeah. H-O-L-L-I-S-T-E-R. There's a store, Dad, down at the mall, and you can smell it from way down the hall, 'cause they spray stuff on all their clothes down at Hollister. Oh, spend it. Hollister, down at Hollister. All their clothes are super cute, tees and tanks and camis too. Mom, can I please have a few bucks so I don't look like you? Employees all drink Caribou, either that or Jamba Juice. Take me, I'll be nice to you. All the gay guys shop there too. American Eagles over with, they're just so 2006. You can go but don't come in, 'cause you're so embarrassing. Me and my friends buy their clothes, then we grab our camera phones, strike an inappropriate pose, and put the pictures on MySpace. Hollister, down at Hollister.
Oh my God, Allison, give me a break. We're on a beer budget, you got champagne taste. I'm taking you to Penny's and then over to Pomida. You ain't wearing clothes that show off your booty. If you want to go to college, then you better well acknowledge that we gotta save some money. So what's wrong with dressing funny? I don't want to make you mad, but Walmart really ain't that bad.
If you take me to Walmart, then you're not my dad. Dad, can you give me $150?
What do you need $150 for?
I'm going to Hollister.
Hollister? They got great stuff down at Kmart. We're getting in the car. We're going to Kmart. Let's go.
Kmart? Just give me your wallet.
Decision is the place I trust.
We're really experienced. I've taken out over 100,000 teeth in my career, so I've seen everything. I got to train at the Mayo Clinic.
And with a pediatric anesthesiologist on staff, you're insured the safest wisdom teeth removal. Set up that free consultation at wisedecision.com.
What's up? Hey, it's Tate McRae. I've put together the perfect playlist for you on iHeartRadio. Some of my favorite tracks, a few artists that have inspired me, and of course my new song, Revolving Door.
But I keep coming back like a revolving door. Said I don't want you less, but I just want you more.
Listen on the free iHeartRadio app and search Curated by Tate McRae to hear it now.
Hear the Dave Ryan Show on the radio, on the iHeartRadio app, and watch on YouTube. Dave Ryan TV from KDWB.
Good morning. Live on TV. What is it time to get Gavin? Gavin is my buddy. Gavin, we bonded immediately. Gavin is like
Gavin DeGraw.
Gavin DeGraw and I are going to move in together.
That one?
No, Gavin the dog.
Oh, Gavin the dog.
I went out to, first of all, I went to the Harley dealership. They were having a little dog event.
Mm-hmm.
And so we walked in. There were 3 dogs and 47 million people. We said, okay, you turn immediately because we couldn't get anywhere near any of the dogs. And I hope they all went home.
Mm-hmm.
We head over to Eden Prairie Center Court. We walk up. There's a yellowish, kind of a skinny-looking puppy, 10 months old dog, Gavin. And Gavin was like, oh, and he like looks up and he licks my face and he's like paying attention to me. And I looked at some of the other dogs. You ever try to get a dog's attention? They could care less.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't care less.
Yeah, that's me with people.
Yeah, it's like, Vaughn, look at me. Come on, Vaughn, I got a ball. I got a ball. Treats. Nothing there. And so I got pictures of Gavin, and that is the one that I want. But we're about to go on vacation, so I can't get a dog and go on vacation.
No, that'd be mean.
So I'm going to ask, can I get Gavin, bring him here to the station? You guys watch him for a week while I'm on vacation.
How old is Gavin?
10 months old.
Potty trained?
They claim that he's housebroken, yeah. So, I mean, they claim that, and I'm sure that they believe that he is, but I don't know if I can't vouch for that.
Okay. I love dogs, so I would love to help out.
Yeah.
However, I do have 3 different dogs this week already, so it might be a little difficult for me to take Gavin home with me, but I would watch Gavin while at the station.
Okay.
We just have to switch off. It's like the class pet. So, like, Bailey will have to
When the
take
class
Gavin.
had a hamster?
Yeah.
You get to take the hamster home for the night. That's so funny. Did you have a class pet when you were a kid?
We had a parrot. Or no, not a parrot, but it was some
Parakeet?
kind of bird.
Okay.
Probably a parakeet. And I remember like taking it home, and it was kind of like it just beak at you. It just like gets you sometimes. But we'd still want to hold it constantly, but it mostly stayed in the cage when we'd have it home for the weekend.
We had a guinea pig named Sir Cedric of Cinnamon.
I love that you remember
And,
that.
it was kindergarten,
cute.
and every kid got to take Sir Cedric home for like a weekend during the school year. And oh, God, it was just, and when a kindergartner, 5-year-old little boy or girl gets to take home the class pet, oh, you're so proud and so excited. And mom and dad don't mind because it's only for a weekend.
Yeah.
And then you bring him right back. Did you have a class pet?
I don't remember having a class pet. I feel like if we did, it was probably a hamster in like kindergarten or first, second grade. But I don't think I ever got to bring it home. Maybe if my mom is listening, she'll remember because I have no idea.
Yeah. Vaughn, you have a class pet?
In kindergarten, we had a rabbit or a bunny. I don't remember what its name was. And then I don't remember what grade. We had hermit crabs. And I remember because we lived so close to the shore, people would bring like the different shells that they would find. Like, I guess, like, you know, you have one that's blue and it has like a picture of a flower on it, like a painting or whatever. They would try to change the shells.
Yeah.
And I don't know how that works, but people loved it because they were very low maintenance.
Yeah, they pretty much are. Anyway, so I might get a hold of the people and see if they can hold on to the dog for a while.
Well,
and I'm not really sure how Susan is vibing with, you know.
You haven't talked to her about it?
Oh, I talk to her about it all the time, and her answer is no.
Why is her answer no? Because she's got Roger.
Because she's got Roger, and it's a lot of work, and it's true. I mean, a dog is a lot of work because you get up in the morning and you got to feed it and take it outside, and you got to clean up the little piddles and stains, and you got to take them out for a walk and take them to the vet. They're a lot of work, but they also give you a lot of love.
Yeah.
So much
I think
love.
the difference now is because this one's so young. You had Josie for so long. So Josie was like trained. Josie knew how to do everything. This one you kind of have to start not from scratch, but still from the beginning.
Yeah, it's true.
Teaching, training, you know, doing like going pee and whatnot.
I will let
teach him to go pee.
Speaking of pets,
Yeah, my-
we got a weird story about a freaking
So-
beta fish. There's never been a radio story about a beta fish ever until now.
I was at my girlfriend's house on Saturday, and she goes, "You guys want to see the beta fish I got in a Christmas exchange?" And I was like, "What? Someone put a beta fish in it." And it said like fragile, don't like spin it around, whatever, because there was a fish in the box.
The beta
that
fish
was
is the one that's got the either red or blue usually, and they got the big giant long fins.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she got that in a Christmas exchange, didn't know what to do with it. And she's like, okay, well, I guess it's like my pet now. And she's frustrated because she's dropped like hundreds of dollars on like a tank and a heater and like the things it needs inside and cleaning the tank and all of the different stuff. So we go and look at it and whatever. And it's a cute little fish. But however, she does say that she is pretty much solely keeping it alive so she can put it back in the Christmas exchange this coming Christmas and someone else can have it.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, I think it's a jerk move, whoever put that fish in the exchange from the beginning. So I don't blame my friend. I don't think that she's evil for what she's doing. At least she's keeping it alive. She could have just, you know, flushed it down the toilet. Something.
God,
If she didn't sign up for a beta fish.
Okay,
If
but
I
you can
was
do so many other things. Give it to a
What do you
kid.
mean?
Don't just flush it.
Well, okay, sure, probably. But can you imagine you're like going to open a present and you put in a candle and a Starbucks gift card and then you open yours and you got a beta fish? Like, I would be so upset.
I would take the beta fish.
I
mean,
would
you put
feel
a
bad
little-
for it.
They put them in a little tank the size of a softball, and you put little sprinkles in there. They're good to go. They're
You have
happy.
to do more than that, though.
Yeah,
You have
you
to do
don't
so
either.
much more than that to keep it
What?
alive.
Yeah,
And,
you
and
want it
there's
to thrive.
maintenance.
Yeah, you
I
want
don't
it
know.
to
She had to
thrive or
get a
stay
whole
alive.
heater thing, and she's got plants in it, whatever.
She's
so
going to fall in love with this beta fish and not give it away.
that thing sits in the basement that she barely hangs out in. I highly doubt she's falling in
Oh,
love
now
with
I
the
feel
fish.
bad for the fish.
It's fine.
Don't come at my friend for this. It's not her fault. At least she's keeping it alive.
A fish is a pet that you only get to teach kids responsibility. I don't think any adult can find pleasure in a fish.
Okay,
My dad
is
used
this-
to have fish all the time.
I had fish too. I had fish. I had like for 10 years. I had fish. I had little platies. I had little angel fish. I had little neon fish.
How old?
20s.
Why?
I really liked it because it was fun. They're colorful, and it's like adds a little life to your apartment.
You don't get anything fun out of having a fish as an adult.
That's not true.
I think
you do.
if you have an aquarium, maybe that's cool because it's like you show that off when people come over. But if you have like one little fish in a fishbowl, you don't get to go run around with it at a park like a dog. You don't get to snuggle with it all day like Bailey does with her cat. It's just there.
No, I really enjoyed having a fish. It was like a little something to do. You get up, you feed him, you clean the tank out once in a while.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
Oh my God.
It teaches you responsibility.
Text that just came in. My son had a pet betta fish, and it used to play dead. We almost flushed it once, had a little funeral, and just as we were about to dump it, the little stinker started swimming.
He said, wait, I'm joking. It's just a prank. It's just a prank.
Just kidding.
Get your kids some fish. I will give you one piece of advice as a parent. Allison wanted a hamster or a gerbil or a little white mouse or something when she was a kid, and I always told her no. I told her no because I'll end up taking care of it. And I look back, it's like, so what?
Yeah.
She never got to experience the joy of having like a little hamster or a little gerbil in her bedroom. And it's like, you know what? Let your kid have a hamster or
Why
a
not?
gerbil
But also,
or whatever.
I am a warning for all of those who might want their kids to have a hamster or a gerbil. Do not get them a male and a female one because then they procreate and then all of a sudden you have about 50 gerbils.
You did, yes, you did.
And you don't know what to do with them, and then you have to take them to the pet store because the mom and dad would bite you anytime you tried to put your hand in the little cage and
Because they're
stuff.
whole horned up.
We had like 50 gerbils at one
Oh
point.
my gosh.
My parents did not realize what was happening.
That is a good little piece of advice, Jenny. Thank you very much. How do we get on the topic of the betta fish? There's so many people texting about fish now. There is believe it or not, there's a betta fish underground fighting ring. No, there is true. They'll fight you. That's why you can't put two betta fish in the same tank together.
But
they'll
like,
fight.
my dad would put like a little mirror next to his betta fish to get it all riled up, so it would,
What are we talking about? Really?
Fish.
Yeah.
This is the lamest radio show we've ever done.
A week ago, we were talking about vacuums. Now we're talking about fish.
Yeah.
Gosh, we're scraping the bucket here.
High quality content.
More text messages, though. Fish are amazing. They're so relaxing to watch. They really are. Betta fish are the easiest to take care of. And now I want an aquarium full of fish. Here's somebody who says that keeping fish as an adult is addicting. We have 9 tanks going at this point.
Wow. That's a lot.
Now I want some fish.
Because you know the best
Like
part
to
of going
eat?
to the dentist is looking at the fish.
No, you're right.
That's
At
the
my
best part of
dentist
the
over in
dentist.
Eden Prairie.
Yeah.
Shout out Heather and my dentist. That's just a beautiful aquarium of like the colorful fish.
Yeah, I always sit the waiting room. I sit right next to that
Lowers
fish
your
tank.
heartbeat.
But
That'd be good for your anxiety, Jenny. I'm going to get
Yeah,
you
get
an
you a
aquarium.
fish.
I'm going to get you an aquarium. I'm going to stock it. I'm going to come over and I'm going to stock it with some neons.
I'm going to stick with vodka.
Okay, that works too. That works too. All right, let's have Vaughn stir the pot and see what is on Vaughn's mind. Vaughn, what you got?
I'm not getting an apartment or a house if they don't start adding like an automatic thing in the shower to hang your phone up on. I think it should be an accessory in all houses now.
What?
Yes.
You're dumb. What are you using your phone for?
Watching SVU, scrolling on TikTok. There's
Your
so
hands
many
are
things.
wet.
Well, that's why they need to build some type of mechanism so
They
that
probably
way
will.
it's done deal.
Well, they
Whether
used to
it's-
have they used to have shower radios. I mean, KDWB and stations I worked at used to give away shower radios. You'd suction cup it to the wall so you could listen to KDWB.
Boom.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And I remember when they started putting like DVD players in cars, and we thought that was like the future. They need to start doing that with houses with in the shower or the tub.
I'm going to tell you, I disagree only because that 15 minutes or so, whatever I spend in the shower, I don't time myself, is a respite from having to check my phone. It is a respite from SVU or plane crash videos on YouTube.
Or White
It
Lotus.
is.
Right. Yeah.
Or White Lotus, yeah. I mean, I like my time in the shower.
I
without
listen
my
to an
phone.
audiobook sometimes, and then sometimes I don't want to listen to anything, and I just want to sit with my thoughts. Because think about, here's something. Think about how often you sit with your thoughts without having music playing, a podcast
Yes.
playing, the
Yeah.
radio on, whatever. How often do you just sit with your thoughts?
Well, you have the option to
Often?
not watch anything. You can just not do that. I'm just saying we should have the option now to be able to sit. And if I'm in the middle of a crime, Olivia Benson and Finn are solving the case, I want to finish the episode, but I stink. I got to jump in the shower, and I want to have the accessibility to just watch. Boom.
Why do you stink so bad that you have to like not finish the episode in that moment? You have to get in the shower. What are you doing?
Why are you always coming for my
Peed
neck,
his
Jenny?
pants. He's like, well, I peed my pants because I couldn't stop watching SVU.
But I
Because
can't
better
stop in the middle of them arresting this.
Better hop in the
convict.
shower quick.
Vaughn, somebody says you can get a shower cell phone wall mount on Temu.
Temu.
Yeah.
I don't trust anything off of Temu.
I wouldn't either.
We should normalize like the case that you put around your neck when you go to a water park to stick your phone in. Get those and install them in the showers. You know what I'm talking about?
But then you can't use them because
You
those
can.
are like bags, essentially.
No, but sometimes they have like the touch-proof one, so that way if you're like at a water park, you can take pictures still, but it's
Yeah.
still safe
I
from
have
the
one of
water.
those.
I just think that you should disconnect for the 8.5 minutes that you're in the shower.
You think it's that long? I'm in the shower.
I don't know how long you're in the shower.
Exactly. If you're only in the shower for 4 minutes, fine. You don't need your phone.
Could be the best 4 minutes. A White Lotus. You never know what you're missing.
You push pause.
Break.
You push pause.
Take a break. All right, I'll tell you, so many people texted about fishes. We could spend an hour talking about fish, pet fish, and now I want a pet fish. All right, it is KDWB. Let's do some dirt. Then we're going to get into the whole story that Kelly Clarkson brought up about whether it's best to have your kids' events at school during school hours or whether it's better to have them at 7 o'clock at night. There's a big brouhaha about this, and we'll let you air out your opinion coming up in a couple of minutes. Stay here on KDWB.
The Dave Ryan Show, 101.3 KDWB.
They say that she is a bully and she's negative and she's Chapel Roan. She said something like, Chapel Roan was on the, I think, Call Her Daddy podcast. And she said something about how I don't know anybody who's got kids that are happy. They're miserable. They hate their life. And then so now moms are coming after Chapel Roan.
All of my friends who have kids are in hell. I actually don't know anyone who's like happy and has children at this age. I have like 1-year-old, like 3-year-old, 4 and under, 5 and under. I literally have not met anyone who's happy, anyone who has like light in their eyes, anyone who has slept. I'm like, why did my parents do that? I'm the oldest of 4. My mom had me at 23.
I don't know if she's trying to be a little bit funny or if she's trying to be interesting. Because when you go on a podcast like that, you want to be interesting and provocative. And that's why when you see it's somebody on The Tonight Show, they always have a funny story that seems like it might be true and it might not be true. But I think that Chapel Roan, if that's the way her friends are, then they're all a bunch of self-centered ninnies.
Well,
I'm not going to say ninnies because that's the first word that came to mind.
She did
But
say
it's like,
at this age, and she's like 26.
okay, right.
So I think she's just speaking for like her specific friend group who are in their early to mid 20s.
So if you're a mom or dad in your early to mid 20s and you've got a couple of kids and little toddlers, are you miserable? Do you have any joy in your life? You can text me anonymously and let me know. Is Chapel Roan right? Or is she like just being Chapel Roan? It's always fun to hear people who are non-parents tell parents how they should feel. So what do you think? Send me a text and let me know. In other dirt, Billie Eilish calls Nicki Minaj the greatest rapper of all time.
Nicki Minaj is like, obviously.
See, I'm just saying things that I like right now. So like,
I know.
GOAT.
I know.
GOAT is
That's
Nicki.
what's hard.
I'm gonna
Nicki
agree.
is GOAT for sure.
Okay. Fair enough. This is The Rock's plane was forced to turn around after a mechanical failure. Let's check this out.
He says, Mr. Johnson, I'm sorry to inform you, but we cannot continue to fly over the ocean. We have a problem. We have to turn the plane around, and we have to land back in Hawaii. You have my word. I will land you back safely on the island.
Geez, I wonder what happened.
Yeah.
Like why they couldn't fly over the ocean anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a really good question. Yeah, I'm glad they turned around and went back. That's what scares me about flying over water because we're flying to Hawaii later this week. It's like you get like in the middle of the ocean. If something goes wrong, you ain't going to be able to coast back to San Francisco.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but
You're gonna
you'll just land in the ocean and then you'll live on an island for like 5 years.
Ooh.
How many islands are there, Jenny, between Hawaii and San Francisco?
There's probably a lot of undiscovered ones.
Undiscovered islands.
Jenny, do you really think in 2025 that there's a lot of uncharted desert
You never
isles?
know.
The ocean is a scary place. We don't know about a lot of it.
And maybe
No, we
something's
do.
formed over the years.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Earthquakes.
Volcanoes.
This is a product of the Wisconsin public school system
Bailey's
right
on my
here.
side, too.
Volcanoes.
So
I'm not
also
surprised.
the Minnesota school system.
And
I'm not
also,
surprised.
there's garbage islands, too. You could live on a garbage island.
Well, that's true.
There you go.
This is weird. I didn't see it, but Morgan Wallen was on Saturday Night Live, and he walked off at the very end. and the cast kind of stood in the back, and he walked off with a very unhappy expression and just kind of walked off toward the camera. And then he said later that he just wanted to, like, get on a plane and go back to God's country. But we're not sure what that's all about. Let's talk about what house you would want to live in, what TV home you would want to live in if you could live in any of them. Number 1, the Tanner House in San Francisco from Full House. That's the one that most people pick.
That makes no sense because the way they have 2 staircases and it's like one end is the living room, the other is the kitchen. I don't know. Bob Saget did a video where he was like, this house could actually not exist in real life.
Did he really?
Yeah, but years ago when the show was still on.
That's kind of funny. The Banks Mansion from Fresh Prince, because it was a mansion. Blanche's Miami home in The Golden Girls. Monica's Purple Apartment from Friends. The Bridgerton Mansion in London from Bridgerton. My personal favorite, the Brady Bunch house in Los Angeles from the Brady Bunch.
So good.
Which they rebuilt on HGTV about 6 or 7 years ago. You know this story, right?
Yeah, I probably did.
Oh, yeah. The house that was that served as the exterior looked nothing like it inside. So they rebuilt it. It is down to the detail of it. Looks just like the Brady Bunch house now from inside.
That's cool.
Super cool. Celeste Beachfront Mansion in Monterey from Big Little Lies. Tony Soprano's New Jersey mansion from The Sopranos, and Walter White's house in Albuquerque from Breaking Bad, which the owner just sold it not too long ago because they couldn't take tourists coming by and bothering them anymore. That is The Dirt, brought to you by 612 Injured, Heimer and Lamber's Injury Law. Let's talk about when you were a kid, or maybe you've got kids now. And you're doing the spring pageant or the choir show, the choir concert, or their winter Christmas magical concert. And it's in the middle of the day. It's at 12:30 or 1:30 in the afternoon. And you got to leave your work. You got to drive across town. You got to go in. You got to spend an hour and so. And then parents are like, no, I don't like this. I don't like it. I've got to work. I don't know why you think that I can just take off and go do this. Do it at night. Do it at 7 o'clock.
Right.
Teachers have a good argument, too. Teachers say, I got kids of my own. I got a life. I already devote so much time for so little money to this profession. I don't want to come back at 7 o'clock at night to chaperone your kid's dumb Christmas pageant. And those were not their exact words.
Right, yeah.
So let's find out what you have to say about this. We got a bunch of text messages. I also want to hear talkbacks, because as much as fun as it is to text in and we read them, and that's fine, totally fine, I want to hear the passion in your voice one way or the other. Open up that iHeartRadio app and tap that red microphone and leave us a 30-second talkback, whether you're a parent, whether you're a teacher.
Yeah, I have 2 texts from teachers. This person says, as a teacher, having it during the day isn't easy for us either because we have to adjust our schedules to make sure they are still getting their academics. But if it's at night, we don't get compensated for our time and we're required to be there.
And you're required to be there, right?
This text says, hey, I'm a high school choir director. I think concerts during the school day are awful. The kids work too hard for only 10 people to show up. My biggest issue is that concerts at night always conflict with sports. Sometimes administration will say my class comes before a game or practice, but sometimes they won't, which is really a bummer.
Well, let me just tell you this one. I noticed when Carson was in band, sports came first all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. Sports came before the arts all the time.
Yeah. This
all the time.
From a parent saying, my children are in kindergarten and 3rd grade. All of their events have been during the day so far. Every time an event happens, most recently my kindergartner's winter concert, teachers have to plead to have somebody to show up for the kids so that the kids aren't sad looking out into a crowd and not seeing their person.
Well, yeah.
The worst.
Think
Right?
about that. As little 3rd grade Sabrina.
Yeah.
And Sabrina's worked really hard on her little, like spring pageant. And mom can't make it because mom's, in surgery or whatever.
Right.
And she can't make it because she's, taking out an appendix.
Yeah, and that I can't imagine. That would be such a bummer too.
I
Just
wonder,
like no one's here for me.
I wonder how many kids, I guess, get used to it because I did, or like how many kids are actually bothered by it. I think I might have been bothered the first or second time. But growing up, my parents, they just didn't have jobs where they could just take off or leave in the middle of the day. And I understood. Like, that was more important because they were trying to make sure we kept the roof over our head as opposed to my mom seeing me play hot cross buns on the recorder. So it's true.
I would have missed work to see that. I'm going to bring in a recorder. I've got one. I want to hear you play hot cross buns.
And when I do
write it down, Jenny. I've got Carson's old recorder,
Okay.
and I'm going to bring it in.
When I do it, you better give me the little green belt because they used to give me different belts. Every time I played a better song, it was like karate. So you would do like a yellow belt, a blue belt. I get better every time.
That's so dorky.
It was.
What do you think?
Can I play the original audio from Kelly?
Yeah, please do. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Kelly Clarkson. I'm not going to lie. I don't know when the school systems thought it would be a good plan for families and their emotional stability to start having performances at 10 a.m. during the week. This just in, a lot of us work and surprising you with it. Like not giving you like an advance where you can at least tell your work, hey, I'm going to need this morning off, like to come in, like, and a lot of jobs wouldn't let you do that anyway. But even if you're like the boss and you would have that control, our kids don't understand. And we just look like assholes when we're not there. And then they go, why was this mom there? And then you have to say, because that kid got a better mom. I don't know.
Jeez. Okay, we do have some talkbacks on this, but a lot of people are fired up about this.
At my school, our concerts are at night, and at this new school I'm at, I have been compensated for my time. I wasn't previously in other years, but now we are, which is nice. But they do rehearsals during the day and then the concert at night in elementary school. So it's always packed with family.
And then that's the great part, because I think that, that's a good point. With the teacher that brought up, it sucks for like the kids to work so hard to do a midday concert and only 10 people show up.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of heartbreaking.
And I mean, because my parents were divorced and like my mom was, a career lady. So I bet if I was at a school concert during the daytime, my mom could not be there. My grandpa probably went. But then if that's like the only person I have, then that's the only person I have.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Here's more talkbacks.
I think that this really speaks to the fact that we just need more supportive workplaces for parents. I'm really lucky to work somewhere that's really, really supportive of parents and would be understanding if I needed to leave early to go to a kid's pageant. But most of the people that I work with are parents, and so that makes a big difference.
Well, I think that's good, but I think some parents, some jobs, you just don't get to leave.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess if you're a doctor or if you're maybe something that requires you're there.
Yeah, like your presence needs to be there.
If you're a crane operator, I don't know if they're going to be like, okay, go ahead and drop those steel beams and come back in a couple of hours.
And I like that Kelly Clarkson said it because she said in the video, when you're the boss, like she is the Kelly Clarkson show, sometimes your job just still doesn't allow that. It just humanized her a little bit more.
Yeah, it's true. All right, a couple of more.
I'm a stay-at-home mom, so it doesn't affect me, but my husband works a lot, like over 60 hours a week, and usually over an hour away. So he just wishes that it was at like 8 o'clock or 3 o'clock so that he could still go to work and have a productive day instead of having to leave right in the middle of the day because then he usually can't go.
I would say big picture, it's part of being a parent. There are times when the kids are going to be a major inconvenience.
Mm-hmm.
They just are. It's like they're sick and you got to stay home because they have strep throat and you have a big case coming up that day. Or you have a big project coming up that day. It's like, God, Bailey's got strep throat. I can't miss work today.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just this, you know what? That's just the way kids are.
Well, then I agree with the woman who said that the workplaces need to be a little bit more accommodating to those parents.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we got a text message that says if parents can take PTO for a me day often, they can certainly take PTO to come see and support their kids perform. But like, what if you have 5 kids?
Yeah, or if your kid, like your one kid is just hella involved. They have a soccer game, then they have a football game, then they have a recorder concert.
You don't get
they
that
have
many
the spring
PTO
play.
days.
Yeah, I don't know how bad, like sports families, they're the craziest to me. It's like, okay, yeah, little Jenny has got soccer at like, at 7 o'clock in the morning every Saturday. And then little Isabel has ice time at 5:30 Monday through Friday.
Yeah, I was a sports family.
Were you a sports family?
Yeah,
we were not.
I played a sport every single season. So did my older sister. My younger sister played a couple sports, but not quite as much. But then we also did dance. We did piano lessons. Like, we were very involved. And I don't know. My parents had not your typical 9-to-5 schedules. They, like, my dad was a chef and my mom had her own company. So they were pretty flexible with their schedules that they were able to come to literally everything. I don't think I had ever played a soccer game that at least not one of my parents were there.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. All right, a couple of more, then we'll wrap this up. We're talking about whether teacher or whether, like kids' concerts and pageants or whatever should be during the school day so they're convenient for the teachers, or later at night so they're convenient for mom and dad and grandpa or whatever, but inconvenient for teachers who are already working way too hard for not enough money. Somebody on the phone with an opinion. Let's find out before we wrap this up. Melanie. Good morning, Mel.
Good morning.
What's going on, Mel?
I just was saying that there's actually a law in Minnesota that employers have to allow parents up to 16 hours of unpaid time away to attend children's activities and conferences.
Nobody knows this. No,
Why don't they now?
Wouldn't you agree that, well, now they know.
Yeah.
So
No,
do you think
they
that
don't know.
They don't know. So there's
They
a
don't
law
know.
in Minnesota that if you, let's say you work over at 3M, you have to let a mom or a dad off for 16 hours a year to go to kids stuff?
Mhm. Yep, unpaid, but they do have to allow you to leave if something is occurring during the work day.
And that's like doctor's appointments and orthodontists, things like that, right?
It's more for like school activities and stuff, but yeah, doctor's appointments and stuff too. But yeah, it says like conferences and like general activities that your children have to, be at or attend. You are allowed to miss work for those things.
Okay, good to know. I'll bet most people don't know that. Thank you, Melanie.
Probably not. Yeah, thank
All right.
you.
Thank you. We're going to wrap that up. If we missed anything, send me a text and let me know at KDWB 53921. Let's pick things up a little bit with the Monday Morning Dance Party on KDWB.
This fall, Dixon Farms wants to recognize those behind Dixon Cider, which is why we're taking this opportunity to highlight our brewmaster. He's a real special guy. I'm talking about Dixon Dave. Here's what our customer John has to say about him.
When you walk in the mill, you're guaranteed to see Dixon Dave.
And when it comes to customer service, he really knows how to make people feel good.
Everybody loves Dixon Dave.
I know, right? Excuse me, ma'am. What do you think of him?
I wasn't sure if I wanted my husband to see Dixon Dave because I'm scared he'll like the interaction too much. But it went well, and now he comes home from Dixon Farms happy every time.
People love him because he's more than just our brewmaster. He's kind of like a therapist.
My husband was in a rough spot in life, not knowing what direction he was headed. And then he started going to Dixon Farm. After getting his fill of Dixon Dave, he's a totally different man.
Willie, what's so special about him as a brewmaster?
Dixon Dave provides a sweet yet tart brew that's good to the last drop.
Hey, good to hear. Ma'am, what did you want to say?
My teenage daughter wanted to try Dixon cider, but when I brought her to Dixon Farms and she saw Dixon Dave, she decided Dixon cider might not be for her quite yet.
It's okay. Bring your son in here, especially if he's over 21. He'll have a great time with our brewmaster, Dixon Dave, the man behind Dixon Farms.
Will you be? Check out our Weekend in 5 photos. You get a chance. That we never mentioned the website, but there's actually a lot of cool stuff on DaveRyanShow.com. There's some cool article or whatever we posted up there. Like if there's something going on this weekend, we'll post a link about that. But we always do our Weekend in 5 photos, and then we talk about, we each take, just like you. You carry your phone everywhere. Oh, look at what the cat's doing. Oh, the cat's on top of the shelf. Oh, look at that. She's playing with the coat hangers. Oh, take a picture. Oh, my God, little Cindy Lou. Look at her. She's at her violin recital. Get a picture of little Cindy Lou.
Oh.
Look at Vaughn. Vaughn's playing with his own dung. Look at that.
What?
Get a picture of Vaughn playing with his own dung. That's adorable. Look, he made a pot.
Gross.
Good
He
bit.
made a pot with his little... That's so gross.
It's adorable.
Ew.
So you take pictures all the time, and we put ours up online. We call it Weekend in 5 photos. So go take a look. Each one tells a little bit of a story. There's Gavin, the dog that I met, that I really want to get a hold of this adoption place and see whether they'll hold him for me.
Yeah.
But then Susan says he's a little bit too big. I don't know.
I will say, I did not know he was only 10 months old. He is a big baby.
He's a pretty big baby. Yeah, he's the size of a full-grown dog.
That's good, though, because that means that's as big as he's going to get.
Well, I want a dog that'll get up on the couch and put his head on my lap.
Yeah, so a big dog can do that.
Yeah, but I don't want to necessarily, I don't know.
Your beggars can't be choosers here, okay? You need to realize you're begging here.
I will say.
And you're too busy choosing.
I will say.
I will
say.
You were looking for somebody to watch while you go on your trip because you want to just take them home. If you asked my girlfriend Alyssa, she would say yes 1,000%. She's been begging me to get a dog, but we just live on a 3rd floor apartment.
Yeah.
So she asked, she was like, could we foster for just a couple of days and see? I was like, no, because then you're going to fall in love and want to keep them.
I think that's probably true. And then Bailey did something interesting this weekend. You were at one of those pitch your friend kind of a thing.
Yeah, I went to a Pitch a Friend singles event on Friday with Katie Cap and Sarah Colley, my friends, and they're my 2 single friends. We're like, hey, let's check this out.
Katie Cap is single?
Yes, she is single.
She's a highly educated PhD.
She is highly educated PhD and still single.
Somebody needs to wife her up.
What about me?
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
Not
you're
about
not highly educated. And
but,
you don't have a big income either.
No, but it was at Sociable Cider Works, and we showed up, and you fill out a name tag, and either a green name tag means you're single, red name tag means you're there as like a wingman. And so we've all put on our green name tags, and they also give you red or green flags. So as you're watching the presentations, you can wave like a little green flag or wave
like
a little red flag.
Interested,
Yeah, or kind of like green flag, red flag, like, oh, family is number 1 important to me.
Oh, I see.
If that's
You
a green
like that.
flag for
Okay,
you.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then they did 11 different presentations, and they have little breaks throughout so you can like keep going back and getting ciders or beers or whatever they have at the place that it's held at. And then at the end, they have like a mingle session so you can walk up to the people that you're interested in. And it's fun because like the presentations were only like 3 to 5 minutes long. Most of them were funny. The majority of the presenters, like obviously they're just there to promote their friend. So they're kind of like being tongue-in-cheek a little bit, and there's pictures of their friends on the slides, and they highlight all the things that they love about their friend. And then at the end, they usually have like a QR code so you can instantly put this person's phone number into your phone.
Oh, so now you have their phone number.
Yeah, like their phone number and their Instagram usually, or how you can get a hold of them. And so that's just the whole presentation part.
Now, the obvious question is, did you pair up? I mean, I met a dog, Gavin.
Yeah.
You had this opportunity to pair up.
Yeah, no, we didn't. So we kind of went in thinking that we wanted to scope it out first and see what it was going to be like before, like, you know, jumping in and talking to people. But I will say that the majority of the men that were at this event seemed to be the wingmen for other people. So there were barely any single guys there because I could not see many green name tags on men. So, yeah, I mean, I would definitely go again. And I already have it written on my calendar that I will go again. They have like more events popping up. It's called Pitch a Friend. And if you like Google Pitch a Friend Twin Cities, you can find them. And I just went to the first one. So we just kind of wanted to scope it out. I think eventually we'll want to do presentations on each other. And we were like kind of taking mental notes as we were watching other ones, like don't talk about that on mine, or please say something about this on mine, et cetera, et cetera. So,
okay.
Yeah, it was fun though.
You think being on the radio would be a red flag or a green flag?
Probably a red flag.
You think so? Like a red flag?
Well, if you're a private person, then yeah, probably a red flag because you got to be okay with your relationship being exposed.
Like, I'll talk about you all the time on the radio. Is that good for you or not? So we'll see.
Well, no, that's true. And then what else was I going to say about that?
Oh, what were you going to say about
why
that?
didn't you pick? I wish you would like put yourself out there.
I went to the thing.
Yeah, but you weren't serious about meeting any
No,
boys.
I was serious about being there. If somebody like caught my eye, I would have walked up to them. But like I said, there were only like
you're too looks based is what I wanted to say.
that I'm too looks
You are
based.
too looks based.
I literally listened to all of the presentations about these people.
You didn't want to date any of them or have babies with
If
any
you're
of
not
them.
attracted to somebody,
you're
Dave,
too looks based. See, that's
I don't
what I
know
mean.
why, but
that's
you-
what I mean. You're too looks based.
Right.
You can find some fugly guy who's got the kindest, gentle heart.
Great. I
and
can't
he's-
wait. How come that's okay for me? But if you found the fuggliest girl ever and I was like, give her a chance, Dave, you'd be like, absolutely not.
No, that's not true at all. I absolutely would give a fugly girl a chance because sometimes fugly girls, they are.
Call the request line and Dave meets up with them and then
You
he's like,
bet.
yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't care. I told
Sorry,
you I learned
I mean,
yeah.
Call
you
me
do
vain.
you.
Call me shallow. I guess
You're shallow and vain.
I want to be slightly attracted to the person that I'm dating.
It is hard to spark interest in someone if you don't have at least a little bit of sexual attractiveness to that person already.
Yeah.
You don't have to be like, oh my God, this is the hottest person in the world.
Yeah.
But you have to at least be like, well, maybe.
Right.
Wouldn't you feel awful if you were one of the guys or women that went to pitch a friend and nobody was interested?
Not one green flag goes
Not
up.
one green. Everybody's
Well,
like drinking their
I
beer,
think
pretending they don't see you.
People were really nice where they were like waving the green flags a lot. So I don't think they had to worry about that. But I mean, there was one girl who got pitched and the friend that was pitching her was like, if any of you are interested, or honestly, if any of you have friends that like aren't here that are interested, please let them know. Like none of you, but like if you have friends, let them know. So she's essentially saying none of you uggos should reach out to my friend who's here today. But if you have friends, let us know.
It's so bad.
Which, felt really awkward. That one was a really weird pitch in general. She's just like, hi, you should love my friend, but none of you. None of you ugly people.
Wow.
Yeah. But the rest of them were like really kind, really lovely. And then afterwards, like if you don't stick around, like some of those people who got pitched literally like left. But you just had like a 5-minute presentation about your friend and then you guys just left. So no one could come up and talk to them.
I wonder if it's because they feared the rejection. If they hung around,
That's possible.
You're like this single person at a party standing around nursing your drink and nobody's talking to you. Maybe they didn't want to face the rejection because how embarrassing would that be? Your friend pitches you, you're standing around and nobody is coming up to you.
So also if you're not walking up to other people too. So that's why I didn't want to get pitched and I didn't want to make a pitch. I just wanted to go and like check it out, see what it was like first, test the waters.
I think I would just fear that my friend or whoever wouldn't pitch me right. Like, let's just say I was the complete opposite of Fugs McGee and I was a PhD and made good money like your friend Katie Cap.
Yeah.
But the PowerPoint is just not pleasing enough that it, shows off all of the good traits about me and then nobody comes. Like, I'd be like, oh, well, that's sad. My friends don't even really know me well enough.
Well, then you can just talk to your friends there instead. Because it was still fun regardless. Like, I got to hang out with my friends Sarah and Katie. So, like, even though we didn't meet the loves of our lives, like, none of us met anybody. But we all made a goal that we're going to talk next time.
The first time they've ever done that in the Twin Cities.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it's going to start getting bigger and more people will probably consider doing it. Because I think there's so many people in the dating world that are just so drained from the apps that like they probably are willing to do something new like that to see what else there could be.
It was fun. I definitely recommend it. It was fun.
Okay, very cool. I'm glad you went out and did that. So, and that's a funny thing. You know what? My friend Wendy, she met her fiance at Whirly Ball. She was there with a work event playing Whirly Ball, and his team was just coming off the court, and they started talking, and now they live together. They're getting engaged. You never know where they're going to show up.
Exactly, which is why you got to go out and do stuff.
And floss.
And floss
because you don't want to meet them, and you have, like, spinach in your teeth.
I did that yesterday.
What?
I flossed for the first time in...
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How long had it been since you flossed? You disgusting human.
It's probably been about a month.
She got chunks of roast beef in her teeth. Good Lord. All right.
The worst is getting popcorn stuck in there.
No, that's true.
I hate that.
All right. It is KDWB. We're going to do a little game called the Are You on Time Singing Challenge. Now, you get to play along with this, too. Basically, we're going to play a little bit of a song and then stop it. And then you sing. You keep singing. And then we'll see whether you're still on time, whether your mind can keep the beat of the song while you are not hearing it. Mm-hmm. I'll demonstrate. I'm really good at this one.
Okay.
So you say.
Yeah. What song are you going to give me?
You should do Party in the USA. I feel like that's your vibe. Okay, ready?
Here we go.
Here you go.
Sing it.
Tonight, something stops me every time. The DJ plays my song and I feel all right. So I put my hands.
Oh, you're a little early.
A little bit early, yeah. It's
Just
harder
barely.
than you think. Okay.
Who wants to go next?
I can go next. Can I do Blinding Lights?
You absolutely can. All right, here you go, Jenny.
Yep.
To judge me, oh, I can see clearly when you're gone. I said, ooh, I'm blinded by the lights. No, I can't see.
Just about.
Pretty good.
I thought that ooh went on a little too long.
It did.
But you did good.
Sure.
It was too many OOOs. All right, I'll do Die with a Smile. I'm going to do the high note in the Lady Gaga Bruno one.
Okay.
I'm going to show off my vocals, Jenny.
Okay.
I won the spelling bee in 5th grade.
With what word?
It doesn't matter. I'm just showing you I'm talented.
Oh.
Wow.
Next to you. Right next to you.
Long enough, though. It's good, but it wasn't long enough. I think there needs to be a couple of lines
measures.
in there.
Some
Yeah.
measures. Yeah, that's a music
how
term.
sexual that song was. That little.
Was it long enough, Bailey?
I'll do Someone Like You, Vaughn.
Okay.
Good one.
Here you go.
Okay.
Would have known how bittersweet this would taste. Never mind, I'll find someone like you. I wish nothing but the best for you. Don't forget that.
Right on it, Bailey Day. Oh, my God. And that song has what's called a fermata, which is like it slows down gradually.
Yeah.
So the tempo changes. You did phenomenal.
Wow. Very nice. Wow.
Am I better than everyone?
We're going to do one for you. Now, we could do Living on a Prayer, but there's probably a lot of 24-year-olds that are listening that don't really know the words. Let's do Party in the USA again. Can you do that one again?
Yeah, of course. Here we go.
Here we go. Sing along.
That's in my hometown.
Not us.
Something stops me every time.
Did you come in okay?
Yes, in my
All
brain.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Now we'll do Living on a Prayer.
All together?
All together.
All together.
Yes.
In
You're going to
unison.
sing along
It's our
with us. Okay?
moment to shine. Let's go, baby.
All right, here we go, friends.
Imagine we're at a hole in the wall bar.
You gotta hold on to what we've got. It doesn't make a difference if we make it or not. We got each other, and that's a lot for love. We'll give it a shot. Hey! Oh, we're halfway there.
Okay.
Cut their mics.
It worked.
I also think Jenny cheated a little bit. You're not supposed to clap. You're supposed to try to keep the beat without actually keeping the beat.
The
We were
vibes
hyping.
up.
Yeah.
Okay? I was
Cheater.
trying to keep the vibes up.
Cheater.
You can't stop me, okay? You
I
you
think
put
you did
Living
great.
on a Prayer on, it takes me back to Wisconsin. Just like going to the bars, listening to the cover band.
Your head
everyone's
out the window
screaming.
on the
Yes.
highway.
You can't stop me.
I love it. Thanks, you guys. It is KDWB. Tomorrow is Pick Your Ticket Tuesday. Just a reminder, we're doing it again. We had such a good time doing it last week, and so did the people who won, clearly, that every 30 minutes, so like in the 10s and the 40s tomorrow, we'll have a bunch of tickets to give away. Tickets tomorrow include, let me see if I can pull this list up here, Halsey. You can pick Halsey, Katy Perry, The Weeknd, Charlie XCX, and this time we're throwing in the Jonas Brothers, Tate McRae, and Teddy Swims. So Pick Your Ticket Tuesday starts tomorrow morning at 6:10 in the morning. And by the way, when we say pick your ticket, literally, we'll list all of those for you. You pick which one you want. It's not like, oh, we're giving you Katy Perry when you really wanted the Jonas Brothers. You get to pick whichever one you want. That starts tomorrow. We're talking about hypnosis. And we were talking about, there was, I don't know, we started talking about whether it was real or not, and people talking about whether, they can be hypnotized. Like you go to a hypnosis show and whether it's real.
Yeah.
And somebody said they went to a hypnosis show at the State Fair in California one time. They picked a bunch of people out of the audience. They brought them backstage and they said, look, this is a show. You're going to play along and entertain people. Or if you're not up for playing along and entertaining people, you can go back to your seat and we'll, no hard feelings.
Yeah.
And so the whole thing was like a scam. And I went to get hypnotized one time because of my belly pain. I was trying anything. And I wasn't hypnotized. I found myself like I didn't want to say, I'm not hypnotized. So I played along because I didn't want to embarrass the hypnotist. And of course, I never went back.
But then we did get an email saying that someone did get hypnotized, which is why I wanted to know if you have been hypnotized. I want to hear from you because this other person said, I 100% believe it. I got hypnotized and here's what happened. And I thought that was also fascinating. And I don't know anyone who has been hypnotized, so that's why I want to know.
Hypnotized?
She is,
You're
but
saying
I didn't want to
hypnotized.
bring it up.
Hypnotized?
Hypnotized.
No.
Not I'm saying hypnotized.
You were saying hypnotized.
Hypnotized.
No, Dave,
You were
I'm with
giving
you.
it an M instead of an N.
I'm with you. I went to
That's
some
close.
county fair back in Jersey, and they brought me and like 4 other people on stage. I didn't feel a thing, but you have to sit there and be kind. You're not just going to walk off like, he's a fraud.
Yeah, right.
He's a sham.
Right. I remember intern John, we used to do a hypnosis show at one of the local casinos. And intern John's like, make sure I get volunteered. Make sure I get volunteered. Intern John used to work on our show. And so he would get up there, pretend he was hypnotized, and he made the entire show because he would do anything. So I'm asking, is there anyone listening who's actually been hypnotized? If you have, give me a call. We want to talk to you. We'll see if anybody listening has been hypnotized. We'll do that next on KDWB. Oh, hi. Hey, it's 101.3 KDWB. We're talking about, is anybody listening who's actually been hypnotized and go to a hypnosis show and you see these people do crazy things like, okay, you think that you are the world champion tap dancer. So then you'll get up there and you do like this stupid dance. People will laugh.
Yeah.
And you're hypnotized, so you think that you really are.
Mm-hmm.
Or are you just faking it? So here's a text message. Dave, I went to the Naughty Hypnotist show you guys did in 2008.
Oh.
We did a Naughty Hypnotist show. I got up on stage. I wanted to work so badly, but I couldn't. It was a funny show, though. We got somebody on the phone. What line?
Line 3 is Kobe.
Kobe. Good morning, Kobe.
Morning, Dave. How are you guys?
We're doing well. You got hypnotized. Tell us about it.
So in high school, at the end of our senior year, we had the senior all-night party, and there was a hypnotist there, and he picked like 10 of us to come up to the stage and do it. And beforehand, they kind of say, like, if you're not willing to open your mind to it and you're already shut off to it, like this isn't going to happen, there's no way they can do it, then it's not going to work. But if you're willing to kind of open your mind to it, then it can happen. And honestly, I don't remember it that vividly, but I do feel like I was in like a suggestive state where when they said something to do something, you kind of just do it automatically without thinking about it. So I don't know if I was truly hypnotized, but I know there was another guy on stage that just kind of faked it the whole time and acted like he was like overzealous and embellishing everything. But
there's always one.
There's always one. What did they tell you to do, Kobe?
They just kind of had you put your arms up in the air, do spins, maybe balk like a chicken or stuff like that.
The classics.
Yeah.
Slap yourself.
Like a chicken.
Slap. What did you say?
He's like, slap yourself.
Yeah.
Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself?
Thanks, Kobe. Appreciate it. Have a good day, Kobe. Miranda, is anybody listening who got hypnotized? Did you get hypnotized?
So I didn't, but I was part of a class in high school during sociology. Our teacher had us turn in all of our smartphones and stuff. This was like 10, 12 years ago. And we watched and listened to this video on our smartboard. And several kids during it, they tell you, you're going further into sleep. And these kids were just passing out, falling out of their desks. They were passing out.
Wow.
Something happened, to the video, and we didn't get to finish the video. So these kids never truly got brought out of it. And so then when we went to our next class, some of these kids that were still into that hypnosis were passing out in their next class.
Oh, wow.
And they've never been the same.
Wow.
They pulled all of the students from this class into the office, asked us if we passed drugs around class today. They were so concerned on what had happened from just it was literally a YouTube video on hypnosis.
Whoa.
I think there's some truth to that. I think there probably is people who are very susceptible and maybe don't even know they're very susceptible to it. So, and then I think there's definitely people who are like, go ahead and try to hypnotize me.
Yeah, that's you.
That's definitely
me too.
Yeah, it's just never
It would never work.
All right, thanks for that. We'll be back in a second. Bailey, the Daily Bailey is coming up. What are we going to talk about on the Daily Bailey?
Yes, indeed. Are there any paths in your life that you wish you had traveled down instead of the one that you did? I'll talk about it more on the Daily Bailey.
Coming up next.
101.3 KDWB.
From the Custom One, MN.com Weather Center.
Starting the week off with some partly sunny skies today, a high of 44. And then tomorrow, periods of snow once again with a high of only 41.
This report is sponsored by Blaze Credit Union. Looking for a local company that is thoughtfully compassionate when it comes to helping with your finances? Trust Blaze Credit Union for all your financial needs. Head to blazecu.com to learn more. Insured by NCUA.
Everything's a little better when it's super. Heroes, markets, sized, and of course, checks. A super check gives you an in-depth review of your current insurance coverage with a Farm Bureau Financial Services agent, no matter who your insurance provider is. That's super cool. Talk to a Farm Bureau agent to make sure you're properly covered at fbfs.com/protect. It's your future. Let's protect it. Farm Bureau Property and Casualty Insurance Company, Western Agricultural Insurance Company.
Hey, it is your thin, healthy friend, Dave Ryan, for Livia Weight Control Centers. Livia has set the standard in weight loss, delivering real results that last. And in celebration of Livia's 15-year anniversary, they're offering 8 weeks free on their award-winning nutrition program when you start today. Plus, Livia offers the lowest GLP-1 medication pricing around. Jumpstart your journey and see real progress by this summer. There's so many things about this story that I just love. I think even she admits there's some part of the story that's absolutely ridiculous. What happened with your husband that made you say, oh my God, we can do War of the Roses? What happened?
I hope she makes you smile. I found a pill. The way you made me smile on the other end of a phone in the middle of a highway driving alone.
I've just noticed that sometimes he comes home and he smells like a different soap.
And there was some sort of smeared substance on her shirt.
I keep finding pairs of underpants in our mailbox.
That he was there, and then she disappears, knowing that, giving her the side eye, giving her the look the entire night.
I can't help it that you're insecure about my past relationship. I said I'm sorry. I've already apologized for that.
Yeah, babe, I hope he shows up in a 2 a.m. pic from a friend, hanging on to a girl to just rub it in. I hope you stay up all night, all alone, waiting by the phone, and then he calls.
So we met this girl, and she introduced herself as, she was like, hi, I'm Kendra from Days of Our Lives.
Well, after the fact, he's like, by the way, I was at Kendra's house putting in a backsplash.
Looked at our Target app, and I've never done this, but it shows all sort of the purchase history around Valentine's Day. We also bought this Reese's heart-shaped chocolate box and condoms.
I hope you both feel the sparks by the end of the drive. I hope you know he's the one by the end of the night. I hope you never ever felt more free. Tell your friends that you're so happy.
So I hid under the stairs just in case, someone was going to come over, but no one ever came over. So I was stuck under the stairs for 3 hours.
Like you did on me. And I hope you cheat like you did on me.
And Kelly was hoping that you would send those roses to her.
Oh, well, if I would have known she was listening, I would have.
Well, of course you would have.
You're this upset about it. Why can't you just talk to me about it?
I'm going to get a restraining order or something now. Like,
come
this is
on.
one step too far. Like,
honestly, just get off my...
Every guy says, I told that crazy girl to leave me alone.
Yeah. He cheated on his wife, so can you really believe whatever the he's saying? Turns out that I'm basically the last person to know that my sister-in-law and my husband have been having an affair. Everybody else knows.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you guys.
I mean, how long do you think this is going to last, though? Because, he can pretend right now that the phone is not coming through, that the call's not coming through. Because he was so flat busted, he just hung up.
Like you did on me.
say, did you mean Bailey? The Dave Ryan Show on KDWB.
I want to mention that we're doing Pick Your Ticket Tuesday tomorrow. So you can do, it should be basically the more you listen, the more you have chances to win. Halsey, Katy Perry, The Weeknd, Charlie XCX, Tate McRae, the Jonas Brothers, and Teddy Swims starting tomorrow at 6:10 and then 6:40 and every hour at 10 and on 40. So listen to win tomorrow. What's on your mind, Bailey J?
All right. I had the question, are there any paths in your life that you wish you had traveled down that you didn't? And the reason I ask is because I just finished a book last week called The Midnight Library. And the main character finds herself in a library between life and death, and she can explore alternate realities and lives.
Oh, I've heard of this book.
I liked it a lot. I feel like it's you either like it or you don't like it. And I really did like it. But you can live all of these different realities and lives based on the things that you regretted in your core life. So in this book, she never pursued music fully. So then she got to live a life where she was a famous rock star. And then in her real life, she stopped being serious about swimming. So she lived a life where she was an Olympic swimmer. And then she broke up with her one long-term boyfriend. So she lived a life where she hadn't. And then they owned a pub or whatever. And then it all ends up she learns all these different things from these lives that she didn't live. So it made me think, are there any paths in your life that you had wished you'd traveled down? You don't necessarily regret them because you don't like your life now, but you wonder what your life would have been like had you actually gone on a different path. I just thought that was an interesting question.
It is.
Personally, it would be cool to see what would have happened if I had went to the U of M, the University of Minnesota. I went to St. Cloud State University because it was cheaper than the University of Minnesota, but I did get accepted into the U of M, and I kind of wonder what would my life be like if I wasn't in St. Cloud for 4 years of my life, or what would my life be like if I didn't get into the Disney college program and never went to Disney World, because I feel like my life would be very different. In general,
in what way?
I was there for a year and a half, and I met a lot of people, and I kept going back there. I got a job at the Disney store as well and did that for 7 years. So if I had never gone, there's so many people I wouldn't have known, and I just want to know what my life would have been like and how different it would have been. Or had I majored in theater, taken theater more seriously, took more classes as an adult, if I wanted to actually pursue theater as a career and put all of my, eggs into that basket, what would my life look like? And I wonder about that sometimes. I'm not upset with the life I have now. I will put that out there. But it's just a question that was brought up by this book I read.
That.
So, Dave, are there any paths in your life that you would wish you'd traveled down?
I love kids. I wish I would have had a bunch of kids back to back to back to back, 6 kids, all about a year and a half or 2 years apart.
Okay.
Because I love kids. I think that would have been awesome.
Yeah.
To have a big mix of all these kids. Because my kids mostly grew up separately.
Yeah.
They all had their other siblings, but I wish I had one relationship, got married at 23 or something, and had 6 kids with the same person, and they all grew up, and that would be cool.
Yeah.
Also, I wish I had paid attention when my dad was trying to show me things, because my dad could fix, build anything at all. He could fix or build anything at all. And my dad and I, when I was a kid, were not close, so I avoided him like the plague. Never learned any of the skills that he had of building things, fixing anything.
Sure.
I couldn't I can barely screw in a light bulb.
If I gave you a piece of wood and a hammer, you'd be I don't know what to do.
No idea what to do with it. Yes, exactly. So that's what I would do.
Yeah, Jenny.
I wish I would have quit everything in my life in my 20s and gone and backpacked around the world, because I feel like as you get older, you're not as willing to sleep in a hostel where there's a bunch of people up partying until 4 a.m.
Yeah.
It's just a different lifestyle when you get older, and your neck hurts and you just can't do the things that you can do in your 20s.
And you have roots down and everything. It's harder to leave.
So I really do wish I would have taken some time off and done that. But I was so career focused in my 20s that I had multiple jobs, was always trying to pay off student loans, but also get into my career field and stuff. And I never took the time to really travel. And I do travel now, but it's just different. We can take a week off at a time. So I just don't have that opportunity to really go and explore and be just engulfed in a different culture for a longer period of time.
Yeah,
that's my main one.
That sounds dope. Yeah. Vaughn?
2 things I thought of, kind of on the same vein as Jenny, because I graduated college in May 2023 and then moved maybe a month later out to the Midwest for work. I wish I would have taken a minute to be like, I get to breathe, be an adult, but like at home.
Yeah.
Instead, I immediately just like moved away from my family. So now I'm really missing like, seeing my sisters grow up, because I wasn't far away from home for college, but I still was away. So for the small period of time I thought I was going to be home, I was excited for it. And then I just left. That's one. And two, I almost went to California for grad school.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to apply at USC, which is University of Southern California, for a screenwriting program.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just like, to get into entertainment, I don't think you need a master's. I would
Yeah.
argue that you don't even need a bachelor's.
Yeah.
So I was just like, nah. But I think it would have been cool to see what that would have been like, going all the way to California from New Jersey
Yeah.
for college.
I think we all kind of did that in college, where we're like, well, what if I went somewhere else? And like, how would my life be different if I was in California in a screenwriting master's program?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I read The Midnight Library. It's by an author named Matt Haig. I liked it. Let me know if you liked it. You can follow me at Bailey on Air on Instagram. Tell me if you like that book.
I got to add that to my library list.
I really liked it. Honestly, I think you would like it.
About it.
I think you would like it, Jenny.
What's it called again?
The Midnight Library by Matt Haig.
I like it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bailey. Coming back in a second, what is an out-of-touch thing that a young person has said to you? For example, 15-year-old told me she wanted to join the Army when she was older because she didn't like being told what to do. Now, I don't know if you know anything about the military, but that's basically all you do is what you're told.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a kind of little out-of-touch one. Another one said somebody young told me they want to become a farmer because they wanted a nice, chill, easy job. I think his only experience was from playing Farmville on his phone. A nice,
The
chill,
least chill, easy job.
Or you mean phones couldn't take pictures back in the day? You know, a whole list of things, out-of-touch things that a young person has said to you. We'll do that in a second on KDWB on You Can't Make This Stuff Up on the Dave Ryan Show.
From the Custom One, MN.com Weather Center.
A nice quiet start to the week today. Partly sunny with a high of 44, but tomorrow we're going to see some periods of snow once again with a high of 41.
This report is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Barrero here for Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, your trusted York dealer. Stay ahead of furnace and AC issues with the Smart Club Maintenance Plan. Right now, your first year is just $95. Avoid breakdowns, save money, and stay comfortable all year long. Call Standard Heating today or sign up at standardheating.com.
Friend calls me and said, do you got the number for Zero Res? I said, yeah, it's really simple. Why? What happened? They said, well, we got new furniture. When we moved the old furniture off the carpet, there was a giant clean spot where the couch and the love seat and recliner used to be. I said, I gotcha. 9520 Res. I said, when you call, make sure you ask for the KDWB 3-room special, which gets you 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at $119. And by the way, they can also take $75 off your air duct cleaning as well, because that's very important. The air ducts are like the lungs of your home. And if they're dirty, your indoor air quality suffers. They said, okay, cool. Also, you can find them online, zeroresminnesota.com. But get your spring cleaning done and jump early on that with the big savings and priority booking by calling the heroes over at Zero Res. 952-ZERO-RES or zeroresminnesota.com. Say you want that KDWB special, Zero Res. Spell it backward or forward. It spells the same.
Maybe you're looking at your car right now and you're like, yeah, I think it's time for an upgrade. Well, I've got good news for you because the Twin Cities Auto Show is coming to town. It's at the Minneapolis Convention Center, April 11th to the 13th, as well as April 16th to the 19th. Anywhere from sedans, compacts, SUVs, trucks, EVs, luxury cars, they're all under one roof. And you can check out all the information and get your tickets online at TwinCitiesAutoShow.com.
The Royal Canadian Circus Big Top at the Mall of America, April 10th through the 20th.
All right, welcome back to Family Feud. Olsen family. We polled 100 people. Top 5 answers are on the board. Give us a reason for being late to work. Chuck, go ahead.
I was that
Good answer.
Good answer.
All right, show me that All right, Jacobson family, 100 people surveyed. Top 8 answers are on the board. Name something you drive. Carolyn, go ahead.
Dead ass.
All right, good answer. All right.
Good job.
Show me dad ass. Yeah. All right. Back to the Olsons, 100 people surveyed. Top 3 answers are on the board. Something you see at an amusement park. All right, Kyle, go ahead. People. All right, okay.
Good job.
See if it's up there. Show me people. All right, Dawn, it's to you. Same question. Something you might see at an amusement park.
People.
Yeah, good answer. Now, Dawn, you do realize that answer has already been guessed, and it's already up on the board. You see it up there?
Oh, it's okay, Steve. I want to guess it again. People.
All right. Okay, show me people. Yeah. All right. Well, it's the number 1 answer and number 2 answer. All right. Time for the bonus round. Chuck and Carolyn, come on over here, you guys. Bonus round. All right. Chuck, you are up. 20 seconds on the clock. First question, excuses for not turning in your homework.
My dog ate it.
Oh, sorry. Try it again.
I must have put it in the dishwasher.
Nope, no, not there. Try it again, Chuck.
Busy sucking.
Oh, there it is. Yes, very good. Carolyn, you get the same questions. 20 seconds on the clock. Excuses for not turning in your homework.
I lost it.
Oh, not there. No, sorry. Try again.
It caught on fire.
Oh, not there. Try again, Carolyn.
Grandpa got all over it.
All right, there it is. Good job. Congratulations, Olsen family. You got $20,000, and we'll see you next time on Family Feud.
Huntington is banking that just clicks. Like asterisk-free checking with no monthly maintenance fee, no matter what. Hey, Twin Cities, is your bank looking out for you? Maybe it's time to switch. Make the switch today at huntington.com/yourmoney.
And Doug.
Quickly, Moo. We don't have much time. This Liberty ad is already almost over. We only have a few precious seconds to remind people to customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Okay. Well, I guess we had more time than I thought.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Okay, raise your hand if you want to make your life a little bit easier. Great. Now raise your other hand if you like to be comfortable. Perfect. Now that you have both hands raised, imagine putting on your shoes. And that, folks, right there is your answer to an easier, more comfortable life. Go hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins. This is footwear you don't need your hands to put on. They can be raised in the air, and you can just step it and go. Why don't you experience what people can't stop talking about? Life-changing Skechers Slip-ins. Get your Slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Your one stop for advertising? Call 844-844-iHeart.
Good morning. We have delays on 94 westbound from Franklin to Riverside, 494 heavy westbound Portland to 35W, 35E with a stall northbound 494 on the right shoulder, Lafayette Freeway heavy northbound from Plato to 94. No accidents at this time. I'm Maria Arnold, and that's your latest total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Whole Foods Market.
Explore the tropics now at Whole Foods Market, where you'll find juicy savings on fresh fruits, plus indulge in island-inspired flavors in the prepared foods department, bakery, snack aisles, and even the coffee bar through April 8th.
101.3 KDWB.
You can't make this stuff up. 2, 3, 4.
Sometimes you meet a kid and they're like, what did you guys do before Wi-Fi? Oh, my God, I can't imagine. How'd you survive before Wi-Fi? And I got a list of these if I can find them here. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
These are things that kids said to older people.
You
that
still looking?
Yeah,
well, let
I'm
me tell you
still
about the
looking,
bakery meal deal at the station store.
Please do,
It's the perfect pair. You get 2 ring donuts plus a medium hot coffee. And let me tell you, this week you're going to want hot coffee because we are back in Minnesota What did we get to? Like the Fool's Spring? Did we get to that point? And now we're in second winter, or is this
fake
third
spring,
winter?
second winter, third winter, something like that.
So go get some hot coffee and some ring donuts from Holiday.
That sounds amazing, Jenny. So here's the list of what an out-of-touch thing a young person has said to you. So some examples. I had a classmate when I was 17 whose father came to collect her from school one day to pick her up. And, oh, my God, he's come in the Porsche instead of the Range Rover. How embarrassing. Oh, my gosh. My 16-year-old niece, here's another one, said she saw my CD collection and asked why I had vintage music discs.
Oh, my gosh. Vintage CDs?
Okay, but they don't know any better.
No, they don't. No. Here's one. I worked in education since 2008. The number of kids who think they're going to make it to the NFL or be a TikTok star, etc., is mind-blowing.
Oh, but don't crush their dreams. I thought I was going to be a Spice Girl. My mom didn't tell me, no, you're not.
Yeah, but you weren't in high school. You were like 4, 5, or 7.
Probably like 12.
Okay.
But, yeah.
But I'm sure that's true. And I think a lot of parents are that way, too. It's like, oh, yeah, my kid's going to be an NHL star.
Mhm.
My kid's going to play for the Gophers.
Yeah, I read something from teachers recently that said all of their kids, when you say, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? They either say teacher, doctor, policeman, because those are like the only careers they know of, or streamer or TikTok star.
Mhm.
And like that's what they want to be, which there's so many more other things that you could be.
Well, good luck, and the competition is so crazy.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
you never know. You never know who's going to break through. Other things that a young person has said to you that's out of touch. What do you mean you don't have summer off? They make you work during the summer?
Yeah.
Because kids get summer off. Kids in the shop at work said he'd gone to the strip club and a stripper hung out with him all night, dancing with him, talking to him, and he said, I gave her my number. I think she really likes me.
No, she doesn't.
We all laughed. He said, yeah, I know, that's what everybody says, but guys, seriously, this one is different. She did not call.
Gosh, I'll never forget. I went to Vegas and we met these guys on the plane, and one of the guys like hit it off with a stripper one night. He's like, yeah, we're going to hang out tonight. And I go, how much you paying her? He goes, no, it's not like that. And I was like, is it? And then the next day, I got the full report back. Yeah, she definitely had like a bouncer with her when she came to hang out with him and was expecting payment of some form.
Another kid said, $100,000? That's not a life-changing amount of money. So I guess if you're young, you think $100,000 is like, well, I mean, that's nice, but
Yeah,
what
do you
want
want to give me some kid?
that?
Jeez, I'd love to have $100,000.
And another one says, my daughter thought the original Top Gun must have been in black and white because it was shot all the way back in the 1980s. So it must have been a black and white movie.
We did get a text that said, my daughter asked me a couple weeks ago if I was alive when color was invented.
When color was invented?
Yes.
I asked my 4th grade teacher that once. I was like, what was it like when you woke up one day and the world was in color? Because I didn't know it was just TVs. I thought life was just black and white. And he was like, are you dumb, Devontae?
It's kind of hard to imagine, though. You think back to like 500 years ago when people were like, just arriving in America or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It was all in color.
Yeah,
but you
everything
can't really
was.
picture it in color. It was just as vibrant and brilliant as it is today.
You can't picture it in color, Dave.
Not that long ago. No.
Dave,
There's
every
paintings at least out there that have color.
Nah, everything looked like the sepia filter.
Dave's out here. I never picture anything in history in color.
You're like a dog.
Sorry, never did.
Jeez.
I got another one for you. If you think that putting your phone away is going to make you more productive, think again. A study says that even when our phones are out of reach, we just find other ways to distract ourselves. We'll just scroll on our computer instead. The truth is, it's not simple. It's not simply the phone. It's the problem. It's our habits. Basically, we're so used to checking our devices that we just switch to another screen when one is out of sight. It's true. I've got a little thing called Brick. And Brick is something you can buy, and it's an app. And you tap your phone on this little thing. It's about the size of a box of Tic Tacs. And you tap your phone on it. It's called the Brick. And your phone is now inaccessible, and it'll time how long you've been bricked.
Yeah.
Is the verb that they describe it.
Sure.
And it's true. I'll brick my phone, try to get some work done, but then I'm just going on YouTube and watching videos. So that's what we do.
You don't like get up and do something else, like you got a to-do list of things to do? That's what I do.
Well, I mean, I do, but I rarely get to it. Oh, you know what I did yesterday, Jenny?
What?
I made Korean beef in the slow cooker
How was
yesterday.
it? Bring Bailey some?
I did. Well, not today, but tomorrow I'm bringing
Thank you,
Bailey some.
babe.
Yeah,
Appreciate you.
But yeah, probably the best recipe I've made in the slow cooker.
Really?
Yes.
Out of all of the slow cooker meals?
All of them, Korean beef over noodles, little broccoli on the side. Recipes on my blog page, DaveRyanShow.com. Feud.com.
Delicious.
He was really good. We'll be back with Dave's Dirt coming up in a second. Chapel Roan has made some moms furious by making statements about moms that moms don't think is true. We'll tell you all about that coming up next. And why did Morgan Wallen walk off of Saturday Night Live after the show was over? We'll cover it on the Dirt next. We're sorry, we're talking about pickleball on KDWB.
Yeah, someone texted in and they're like, who's the girl sitting between Jenny and Bailey on the live stream right now? Because they didn't realize, but we have, here, why don't we...
Is that my replacement?
Yeah, Vaughn, sorry. There's a cardboard box in your contract.
Yeah.
Have a good life.
See you later, Vaughn.
Well, introduce yourself now that we brought you up. Tell everybody your name and a little bit about you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Shruti. I grew up in Plymouth, Minnesota, and I'm part of the sales team at iHeart, so I'm sitting in on the Dave Ryan Show today.
So I brought up, because I'm a good conversationalist, I said, what do you like to do? Because that's what you ask people. Do you know this? When you meet people at a party and you don't know what to ask them, you don't say, what do you do? Because they're like, oh, I'm an accountant. Yeah. Boring.
You say.
So you say, what do you like to do? So I asked a minute ago, I said, what do you like to do? You like to play pickleball? And you talk about eyes light up.
She was like,
eyes light up like saucers over here because you play pickleball, every single day?
Every single day religiously. If any pickleball players are listening right now, they probably know me.
I love
famous
that.
in the pickleball
You probably,
world.
I have friends that play.
Small.
It is kind of small. I have friends that play at Lucky's, and you said that you play there, so I'm sure you know them. But then also her and I, we've probably crossed paths playing at the St. Louis Park what's it called?
Wolf Park. Every true player gets their start out in Wolf Park.
Yes, that's where I started last summer, and I've gone a couple times since it's gotten nice out so far.
Jenny and I went and played downtown with the people in the LaSalle building at the theater and that type of thing.
Yeah.
And most of them were about as good as we are. Jenny's a little bit better than me, but, I can hit a ball here and there. But when you play with somebody who can spin it so it's coming right towards you and then it bounces the other way when you hit it, You
Yeah.
just pissed me off.
Because we
You're just
played
kinda
this
pissing me
guy
off.
who was like,
we can't play.
Yeah, no.
because you played tennis, so you probably are way better. But also this one guy we played, he literally played ping pong he said like at the boys' school he went to or something.
Yep,
so
yep.
he just had this insane spin, and Dave and I were like, well, whatever. Neither of us are getting that one.
That is so cool. Thanks for bringing that up. You gave us something interesting to talk about. I've never seen anybody light up at the word pickleball before.
Thanks for showcasing
Quite
pickleball
like
on
you.
KDWB.
Absolutely.
Of course.
By the way, good luck selling our show.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be easy.
All right, it is KDWB. We're going to cover Dave's Dirt. Let's get started on it right now on KDWB.
Throwing journalistic standards out the window. This is Dave's Dirt on KDWB.
Hey, I want to give a shout out to the Minnesota Wild for letting me do Let's Play Hockey.
Yeah, how'd it go?
On Saturday night. It went fine.
You didn't do a bit? You didn't screw it up?
No, it was interesting because I was talking to one of the guys who hands me a script. He said, you basically say, there are 3 lines before you say, let's play hockey. The first line was something like, okay, hockey fans, it's game time. Say it with me. Let's play hockey.
Yeah.
So I was with these other 2 people, and we were not arguing, but discussing over who's going to say what line.
Yeah.
So we kind of organized that a little bit, but you're not allowed to hold the script in your hand. So I put it down at our feet.
Because you got to be on camera.
Got to look at the camera, yeah. So you're on the big jumbotron. So it was like, all right, because who was it?
Wasn't it Mayor Carter?
No.
Oh, why do I think that I saw
What,
that?
on Saturday night?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
But I was going to say, Adrian Peterson.
Oh, yeah.
Is that who it was?
Yeah, that's who screwed it up.
He got up there
It's time
recently.
to-
Well, I think that he got nervous because you're not allowed to look at the paper because they want you to look up at the crowd. So he probably got a little bit nervous and he said something like, all right, everybody, you ready? Say it with me. It's time to play hockey. And nobody said it with him because he's not saying it right.
Right.
But then he got cheered anyway because he's Adrian Peterson.
Yeah.
But that's the example of like what not to do. So no,
I thought you
it went
did
fine.
good. From what I saw, I thought
Did you
looked,
see a video of it?
I
somewhere?
saw. Well, yeah, on your Instagram page,
Oh,
Dave
okay.
Ryan KDWB.
Okay.
Yeah, you posted a video of it, and I thought you looked handsome on the Megatron.
Aw, thank you very much.
I don't know what about the Megatron made you look handsome though, because you don't in real life.
Pixelated.
It is must be
Pixelated.
pixelated. You just looked like you had a giant jawline. You look like handsome Squidward on the Megatron.
Handsome
Oh
Squidward?
No. Do you know what handsome Squidward looks like?
No, but I can take a guess.
You should, if you're listening right now, Google handsome Squidward.
Handsome Squidward is good looking, Dave, and you look
He
like
has
handsome Squidward on the Megatron.
Such a chiseled jaw. He has chest hair. He's all muscled up.
It's like
he has
his
veins
face
in
is
his
like
face.
vein.
Yeah.
A big old butt chin, though. We could do without that butt chin, but.
Puckered lips.
And that's what Dave looked like on the Jumbotron.
I mean,
you think?
go back, play it back, because he looked very handsome on the Megatron.
Interesting.
No big deal. I'm just saying.
Squilliam Fancy Pants is his name.
There you go.
Squilliam
Stupid.
Fancy Pants.
So dumb.
What a great show. All right, moving on. The greatest rapper of all time, according to Billie Eilish, is...
Nicki Minaj is like, obviously.
See, I'm just saying things that I like right now. So like,
I know.
GOAT.
I know.
GOAT is
That's what's
Nicki.
hard.
I'm gonna
Nicki
agree.
is GOAT for sure.
If you ask me, it's Macklemore, but it's a convo for another day.
I'm not going to argue with that. I'm going to totally agree. Let's see what else we got here. The Rock is flying, and his plane had to turn around flying out of Hawaii after they had mechanical trouble.
He says, Mr. Johnson, I'm sorry to inform you, but we cannot continue to fly over the ocean. We have a problem. We have to turn the plane around, and we have to land back in Hawaii. You have my word. I will land you back safely on the island.
And they did.
Okay, can I tell you that my sister just flew down to Florida this past weekend, and she said that they were getting ready to land, and then they like went back up in the air and flew around again for another like 30 minutes.
Yo.
And she still doesn't know like what happened. She thinks it was like windy and stuff. But we both talked about how we remember our uncle telling us that story once that happened to him. And the pilot afterwards was like, just don't worry about it. When my uncle like asked him while he was leaving. And I get it. Like, why freak people out? But man, the next flight I take, I swear if that happens to me, I'm going to be pooping my pants.
Well, no, it's because you think that, you're going to land, everything's okay. Then all of a sudden they gun the engines, they climb up, and it's usually as simple as something as like another plane's not quite off the runway, or there could be a deer on the runway.
Classic.
And so they have to go around, but then it takes a half an hour because they got to work them back into the traffic pattern. They can't just do a loop around like a racetrack and come back and land again. They got to go out and circle and that type of thing. So don't panic. It's called the go around.
What am I supposed to do?
Yeah, why not
My
just say
anxiety is
that,
going to be
though?
like up here. I'm going to need to use the bathroom. They're going to be like, ma'am, sit down. I'll be like, I can't.
And here's another thing. And I'll tell you, if you really ever got to go to the bathroom really bad when the seatbelt sign is on, get up and go.
You're going to upset
no,
some
I don't
people.
care. No, it's true. Get up and go. The flight attendant, you're not supposed to get up if you're on an active taxiway. Let's say you land and they're like, oh, my God, okay, our gate is still occupied. We got to sit here and wait for our gates. Please remain in your seats. And you got to poop really bad. They want you to get up and go poop rather than poop yourself in the chair.
What?
No, trust me.
Well, yeah,
And
if you're just sitting there, who cares? But
well,
also,
even if you're like, if they're like, okay, we're 8 minutes away from landing, put your tray tables up, your seat backs in the upright position, and you're like, I got to poop or pee really bad right now. Go do it. There's no law against it. It's a regulation, but you should, but they'd rather have you go poop in the bathroom than poop in your chair.
So you mean I shouldn't just sit there and be like, oh, I gotta go so bad. Oh.
No, I've done it before. I've done it, and they don't like it, but they get it. People's bodies sometimes want to act at the wrong time.
How long is your flight to Hawaii, Dave? Is that like 7 hours?
Probably something like that.
well, usually you have to connect in like LA or something, don't
I
you?
think we connect in Salt Lake City or
Oh,
something
okay.
like that.
God's country.
God's country.
You gonna watch some movies on the flight?
Well, who cares? Why would you ask me a dumb question
I'm
like that?
not. That's not a dumb question. I'm making conversation with you. Sorry, I'm interested in your
Are you going to
life.
play Sudoku or?
I don't play Sudoku. I'm not good with numbers. I'm good with words.
Yeah, why would you ask such a stupid
Yeah,
question,
stupid
Jenny?
question.
I just wanted to keep the stupid questions rolling.
Of course, I'm gonna watch something. I'm gonna watch the Final Destination series.
I wanted to see if you could like raw dog it. You know, that's like popular right now.
No, I've heard that where you stare at the seat in front of you for like 6 hours. That is the dumbest thing ever.
It sounds like something you would do though, just for a bit.
It does not sound like
Oh,
something
it
I would do
doesn't.
at
This
all.
man has to look at his phone 24/7. He could never raw dog a flight.
But if it's for a bit,
No, he won't.
I'll give you $20.
I would lie and say that I did.
yeah,
then
he'd be
I'm
like,
not gonna
Susan,
give you
record
money.
me for 20 seconds. All right, good. Now I'm back to my phone.
You're not wrong. And Morgan Wallen was on Saturday Night Live over the weekend. At the end, you know how on SNL they're like, okay, we want to thank the cast and the blah 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 and a special guest and blah blah blah. Thanks for watching, and then they play the closing
Saxophone guy.
theme.
Yeah.
And this time, as soon as they all said goodbye, Morgan Wallen walked off the stage with a sort of a bitter, bored look on his face toward the camera, and then walked around the camera and disappeared. And nobody in recent memory has done that. So people are saying, why did he do it? And his management said no hard feelings. He just wanted to go. But they also say it was a really tough week, and the crew and the cast did not like him.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to guess he did not like them either.
So then why do it? There's a lot of people.
Why do it?
You get
'Cause
paid for it.
Well, maybe he thought that it's great exposure for your career, but maybe he thought that he would like it.
I've just heard a lot of people that are saying, good for him for walking off. Like, what? I feel those are
kind
the
of a
same people
jerk
that are
move.
saying, like, he didn't need to do Saturday Night Live, so then why did he?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Let's turn the tables. Maybe the crew was rude to him.
Yeah, True.
You know,
they
it's
could have
it's
been.
very possible the crew was rude to him.
I would probably have a hard time being super nice to him because I don't think he's a very great person myself.
And
He's
fair
done a
enough.
lot of
And-
things
and-
that are like questionable,
Well,
and it's
true.
just immediately been forgiven.
And that's probably why the cast maybe gave him the cold shoulder. And so he's like, you feel that. It's like, I'm not going to hang around here.
But look who got screwed in the end. Now people are looking at him crazy.
No, it's true. Jelly Roll surprised a deserving fan with a free car at a show in Canada last weekend. She used to be homeless and on drugs. Now she works to help get other people off the street. Check out the video if you haven't. She got pretty emotional, and so did he. Chapel Roan running her mouth off and angered some parents by saying people with young kids aren't happy. Here is Chapel Roan. Here is a clip. Hold on. I've got it right here.
It's coming.
Here it is. Here we go.
All of my friends who have kids are in hell. I actually don't know anyone who's like happy and has children at this age. I have like 1-year-old, like 3-year-old, 4 and under, 5 and under. I literally have not met anyone who's happy, anyone who has like light in their eyes, anyone who has slept. I'm like, why did my parents do that? I'm the oldest of 4. My mom had me at 23.
So there's a lot of people who are not very happy with her negative comments. Here are some comments back. Imagine being one of those friends that confide in Chapel Roan about being an exhausted parent only for her to share it with the world in a negative way. Another one, I feel like Chapel speaks like an overly confident 19-year-old. Chapel Roan is a mean girl with extremely negative energy, and I'm tired of pretending she's not. There's even a TikTok trend of moms posting happy videos with their kids, with Chapel's comments playing over them.
Yeah, it was just like a blanket statement. And I don't know anything. I'm not a parent. It was just a blanket like nobody's happy. Well, evidently you're well, not evidently, but your mom seemingly was happy.
Well, I mean, there are definitely moments where you're like, oh, I can't take it anymore. I mean, my daughter Allison has called us almost in tears before, and she's got a 2 and a 4-year-old. And she's a really good mom, and she's got a great partner that helps out. I mean, when I say helps out, it doesn't like mean he steps in. It's like, what do you need me to do? He's right there all the time, too. But even with 2 people and 2 kids, they can wear on you. Yeah. I mean, it can be like constantly fighting. Mm-hmm. There's always one that loves to pick on the other one. In our case, the little one picks on the big one.
Really?
Oh, yeah. The little one, she's a brute.
I feel like that's what they always say about the second child. Ooh, I mean, my nephew's the second, and he is just...
Is he a brute?
Absolutely. We always say he's either going to be a CEO or in jail. We're not sure which one he's going to be. He's brilliant, but he's also crazy.
And that is The Dirt, brought to you by 612 Injured, Heimer and Lammer's Injury Law. Coming up next, we'll take a little break. We'll come back with the mixtape game on KDWB. And then somebody wants to move into a neighborhood, but there's one problem with one neighbor that's a deal breaker. One woman in particular is a deal breaker, and they're not moving there. You'll hear the whole story coming up.
Hey, it's Fallon. If you've been putting off LASIK because of price, I have a solution for you. Ovo LASIK and Lens. They have you covered with their best LASIK price guarantee. If you find a lower LASIK price anywhere else, Ovo is going to match